Okay. It is the day before Thanksgiving. Let's see what we get today. Well, we got a lot of story, but that's it. I think we have one ticket to our name. Probably. Yo, how you doing, Eric? Time to see the scoreboard. Alright. I got. Alright, they have that guy, C-Man. They have that. Abby. Vinci. Nero. Ereshkigal. I see. Hey, how you doing, Hotshot? I'm doing pretty well. Just coming back. Evening. So yeah, we got a fun little stream today. Let's see what we have into the. Man, seeing that 1 in 6, I was like, goodness. All right. The white cavalry heron, best in the land. Yeah. I was like, goodness, all these gotchas, but nothing to roll it with, right? I said, nothing to give out SQ. Amidst the flowers of jug of wine, I pour alone, lacking companionship. So raising the cup, I invite the moon, then turn to my shadow, which makes 3 of us. Wow, lady, you got a beautiful voice. What does that mean? Well, it means if you're ever drinking by yourself among flowers, you can still have some companionship if you toast to the moon in your shadow. You know how when you're out taking a walk at night and you look up, see the moon, and find yourself craving a drink? Don't you think it makes the alcohol all the sweeter? I've never had alcohol before, but I do like the moon. It's pretty. I know what you mean. It's hard to put into words, but there's just something mysterious about it. So what, you always go drink in the flower fields like that whenever the moon's out? Not me, silly. It was a man named Lee Bai. Not to say I don't follow his lead now and then. Oh wait, you said this Lee Bai guy was doing his moon gazing alone, right? So how did you hear what he said? Were you spying on him or something? No, of course he was alone. I just learned how he drank and how he felt in that moonlit flower field later on, through his poem. Oh, so this Lee Bai guy told you about it later then? No, I never met him. I read his poem well after he first wrote it down, and many others had copied it. And they're gonna ask one other question. Say, listen, I never met the guy. Wrote down? What is that? We don't know how to write. Yes, writing, you know. It uses symbols to convey language. It lets you record your own thoughts, ideas, and experiences for others to read, even if they live long after you've died. That sounds awesome. I'm gonna try that. That's great. There are a ton of characters, but it's not so bad if you just learn a few at a time. They're all bait, yeah. All of them are bait. They're trying to drain you before the Rasputin guy comes out at New Year's. So stand strong, brothers. I know. Why don't we start with something simple, like the ones for father and mother? Father, mother. What's that? I'm sorry, does he not have parents? Parents, what are those? I think she probably means whose womb he was born from. I can figure out when I was born by counting backwards, but I don't know who might have been pregnant by the year before. Yeah, how the hell are we supposed to remember something like that? These guys don't have an idea of family either. Then who raises the children? We all do. When the kids have questions, whoever's free teaches them to tell the fields. How lucky we are to have Heavenly Emperor watching over us. Oh, and someone teaches them how babies are made when they're old enough. I see. So that's how things work here. Well, there are characters for everything, including things you see every day. So why don't we start with the ones for light and earth? Okay. Oh, okay, she's indoctrinating them to her language? Ah, how tragic. This world's people have had their minds shackled and are forced to live as slaves under the yoke of illiteracy. This is oppression. It is information warfare of a wholly different kind. I'll do whatever I must do to throw off these chains. Huh. It must be nice being a servant and never having to worry about anything. Never mind the excessive empathizing with these people tightens the noose around our own necks. This is a Lostbelt. We need to defeat its corruptor, chop down the tree of emptiness, and cut off its future by sending it back to the pruning theoretical phenomena. If all of this will only leave you feeling guilty when it comes time for that, then you're better off not showing these people any kindness at all. Now, if you don't care about any of that and simply enjoy meeting new people, then knock yourself out. But I'm not so simple-minded. I'm well aware there's only so much stress I can take. You're wrong. Oppressor who has never known repression. What was that? He's calling you privileged. Vanquishing an opponent after you have helped to keep them weak is only another form of oppression. People deserve freedom. Spartacus? It is only when they have fangs with which to fight and hope for the future that competition may begin. I am, of course, Paragon's servant. As such, I'll do everything I can to fight for proper human history. That will never change. But as a man who honors people's pride, I must also say this. We cannot just assume proper human history is the only one that deserves to survive. Have you lost your mind, man? No, wait. You're a berserker. This must be your madness enhancement speaking. Easy there. Don't let him get to you. He's just all fired up. I'm seeing how cowardly all these people are. He might be talking more than usual, but he's still just saying the same shit he always does. Berserkers can't understand him, can't change him. Humans must move forward in search of a better future. Paragon, you have yet to become an oppressor. Pay close attention to this world and how its people live their lives. You must see for yourselves whether it is they or we who are fit to inherit humanity's future. This whole place is dictatorship, so it should go away. Just as we know fight against our destruction, so too should they have fangs and claws of their own, with which to rage against destiny's oppression. For justice can only be attained when two opposing rebellions clash. So, you think we should step aside for them? The coming battle will determine that. Once it has, that is when I will take up my sword in rebellion. But if it happens that true human dignity is to be found here in this Lostbelt, then I shall bend my knee to service in China. Wait, what? So you wait, I thought you said you're gonna serve proper human history. Should that come to pass, the souls of those here must not still be bound by the chains of oppression. If they are to inherit the hopes and dreams of our proper human history, we must teach them about our poetry and our feelings. So please do not admonish Jinke for her action. While I cannot quite agree with everything Spartacus has said there is certainly no harm in being on good terms with the locals. I cannot imagine Miss Jinke could merely stand by idly either. Seeing these people toil away in illiteracy under King Shi Huang's rule cannot have sat well with her. Why not let her help them if she so wishes? She seems a lot happier that way too. But, madness enhancements or not, it seems you are still a heroic spirit and not shy about sharing your opinions either. You know, I once looked up to the indomitable gladiator Spartacus myself, back when I was a lad. But never mind that. I can't help but notice it's been 2 days since we got here, and we're no closer to finding an antidote. But we're still got time, right? Yeah, we have a little bit of time here. Let me get comfortable real quick. As requested, Your Imperial Majesty, I have determined who I think to be our best 2 warriors and brought them back from Mount Lee. So I see. Well done, Captain. The first is King Lang Yu, the fearsome general who hails from the Qing of Sichuan. Ah yes, the woman who commands the White Cavalry. It is a great honor to serve as your spear and shield. Again, Your Imperial Majesty. I think I have this unit. We still have such vivid recollections of how gallantly you fought in the Bozui Rebellion. We can think of none better than you to fight in defense of our empire. You are too kind, Your Imperial Majesty. Now that I have been reawakened after such a long time sleeping, I could ask for nothing better than to help uphold your reign for another 10,000 years. Excellent. We will hold you to that. Our empire faces an unprecedented threat. Use your mastery of the Ash Spear to disperse the clouds looming over our land. I will, Your Imperial Majesty. Next, I brought you a strategist. I gave it a lot of thought and decided to go with your most loyal retainer, the one who has served you longer than anyone else. It's Mr. Guan Yu. Oh, wait, no, it's not Guan Yu. Hello again, Your Imperial Majesty. It's me, Han Xing, your faithful right-hand man. Whoops. Oh, our most distinguished Han Xing. We may have many heroes at our disposal on Mount Lee, but few who knew us before we obtained this holy vessel. You are a living witness to Qing's military history. So, I'm guessing you woke me up to fight another war? Where are we invading this time? The desert? The ocean? No, wait. Don't tell me. The moon. It's on a streamer streak? Wait, what? Hey, we got pretty good. This is like 4 streams in a row. No. Our way of conquest is long since complete. Your leadership is in Arctic wars was crucial to defeating the Aztec Republic. And our last great enemy, the Habsburg Empire, succumbed to economic sanctions. The world has long been at peace. Oh. I mean, that's wonderful to hear, Your Imperial Majesty. Who doesn't love peace? Who doesn't love peace? Still, a peaceful world is like a tidy room. It's bound to get dusty eventually. Indeed, so I'm counting on you to handle the cleanup once again. By the way, how's science progressed since the last time I was awake? Any new weapons I should know about? Ah yes, with the exception of our royal guards and the supervisors defending the fields, we have retired most of our flesh and blood soldiers. The bulk of our army is now comprised of automated mechanical soldiers. Mechanical soldiers? This is huge! We won't have to keep them fed or rested, and if one breaks, we can just repair it and send it back into the field. Oh, this changes everything. He's talking about like those cashiers that became robots. The possibilities are endless. New strategies, new tactics. Ah, it's enough to make my head spin. Han Xing, while you are much too unusual to be called a genius, tactical or otherwise, we have nothing but respect for your talent. Make full use of your strategic cunning and return with another victory to your name. Ah, thank you, your Imperial Majesty. You are too kind. Oh my, his expressions are just as unique as the rumor suggested. No wonder Lord Hanshin is such a decorated general. Wonderful. With these two, the Empire's defense should be airtight. Really? That's a lot of faith in just those two. One is robots, the other one's, yeah, go handle that. Yo, D, how you doing? Alright, let's get the queue going. Alright, there you go. Question mark enemy? Which one should it be? If you even pop up, I'll give you 2 more refreshes here. Like how your friend pops up here. Okay. Okay, that was 1. Oh, there you are. Found you. Dang, 5 hours ago. Alright. Alright, so this is a question mark enemy. They want hotshot to decide. Let me see. We will do... It's a hard choice. We could just bring the power of Rome on them. The power of Rome. Bring whoever. Wait, was this yours? Oop, I clicked by accident. We haven't played Gilgamesh in a while. We can see what he's about. Let's bring him. Let's go here. He is Buster. Okay, this is pretty good. Section 6. The demonic general descends. Jing Yang just fired another rocket. Looks like it's aimed straight at us, just like the first one. Think this one is more supplies for Hinako? I doubt it. I'm guessing it's either a direct attack, or it's carrying soldiers that can handle a rough ride, like when Akuta and that prince first showed up. Given that this civilization has produced humanoid mechanical soldiers, there's no telling what could be coming next. That said, there has been something strange about this Lostbelt from the very beginning. Really, what is it? When Kadak and Ophelia came to fight us with their servants, They tend to bide their time, waiting for us to be weakened by other enemies. But Kuta hardly waited a moment before coming after us. Yeah, she's not the brightest crayon in the box. What do you think that is? Why do you think that is? Because there was no one else who could fight? That would seem to be for the foremost possibility. Especially since this world is so peaceful, as people are completely unfamiliar with the concept of war. It may well be that this Lostbelt's ruler has no military force capable of engaging servants. Ah, makes sense to me. Standing armies are nothing more than walking money pits. Keeping one around without an enemy to fight just wouldn't make sense. And if there's no army here, this Lostbelt will be all the easier to deal with. Oh, we should have refrained from getting our hopes up. I believe we are about to see Xi Yang's first attack, San's Akuta. This battle will tell us a great deal about this world's military strength. Here comes the rocket, guys. Watch the impact. What's even the point of waiting for it to land? We know it's got enemies on it, right, Paragon? So why don't we just smash the thing out of the sky? Alright, go ahead and use your noble phantasm. This is the evil sword that destroyed my father. Clarinet Blood Arthur. She said the line. Hell yeah. Nailed it. It's not over yet. We're still picking up his magical energy signal. Something coming out of the wreckage. Gauging temperature. Evaluating magical energy release. Threat level minimal. Dang, minimal though? The disrespect? This is that robot they were all excited about. Wait. It's this guy. We're about to die, aren't we? Target's located. Is that a person or a horse? Whatever he is, he's definitely not human. But what's with these readings? His magical energy patterns closer to automaton than a servant, but his values are off the charts. This guy's got to be as powerful as a dragon-class demonic beast. What? Are you quite sure of that, Da Vinci? You're certain he is an automaton, and not a living creature. Trust me, I couldn't believe my eyes either. It really is a machine, and these readings don't make any sense at all. You're starting to scare me. What's so strange about that anyway? Unlike living organisms, a machine's output rises and falls based on its operational parameters. No one would be so foolish as to fully open the throttle on one merely to leave the warehouse, right? All of this to say, the enemy is still just warming up. But it is giving off this much magical energy while it's still warming up. It called us minimal threat. That was a hell of a roar. I trust you measured that waveform, Da Vinci. Ah yes, you've been up against a number of opponents with a vast amount of magical energy before. Oh, it disappears? That's the first time I've seen that one. But none of them took on such forms. Retreat. Oh crap, it's too late. Hang in there as best you can until we can find a way to escape, guys. Whatever you do, don't go to the toy. Oh, so this is a stall battle. It's just like survive this unit. So she's like, don't go all out. Just stall it out then. Oops. I had the fast farm thing on. Let me turn that off. Turn that on. Put this on. There you go. I was right. That lotto was serious. I was like, let me turn that on. Turn that on. Okay, that's pretty good. I'm on cooldown. No. Wait, but I have this stuff. Alright, let's just attack with them. Oh, I picked the right one because... Oh, maybe I should just go invincible. I'll just go invincible. Just in case he like focus fire her. Just be cautious of that. Dang! Okay, see, that's why I went invincible mode. Okay, that's how he's playing. I see how you play now. Let me hit my guts up real quick. Yep, classic. Let me do this real quick.
あなたが望むならそのように分かっています上出来諦めてこうなったら私にも止められないから原始の眠りから目覚めなさいエディシュラ
Yeah, he was not there. He got unalived right there. He's like you in particular. Oh my god. Oh, so she's tanking that though. She's like, oh, that's all you got. That's all you got. All right, let me just do this. Let's get rid of some of his those bars. There you go.
私の神殿何になります新山幽谷氷天道地海山名号天神地これと列強天揺らすウトの鳴き声矢をよろずのノリとなりなしなし怒らないから白状なさい
Oh no, we're
よそ見
oh,
してましたわね
dang, he went for a double kill? Well, he ain't going no triple though. All right, and this is why we brought her. All right, let's start this nice domain expansion real quick. This actually stop him from doing anything like that. And we have this too. Do that for now. Let her eat all the hits. Okay, this is fine as it is. Just let her do, target. Wait. Oh, okay, so that does both of this. Okay, that's nice. Since she's already focused, we'll just let her do all that. And she's invincible.
ではいらっしゃい大きく小さくでは報酬を与えましょう熱震え別れ我が手の上で弾けるがいいなだれと参りますそう
Okay, so That was more than survive. That was like just break him. Break him one bar. That was the challenge. Dang, he's tough. You're telling me. Such devastating oppression. How can I rush to meet it? Watch yourself, Spartacus. He'll cut you even to ribbons if you just run in like a jackass. I see. So this is the extent of their capabilities. Paragon, we've got another servant headed this way. It looks like it's Akuta Hinako's Prince of La Ling. He ain't gonna do anything. This is bad. If he joins forces with this automaton now. Why did you go on the attack without us, Lord Zhang Yu? Zhang Yu? Did he say Zhang Yu? I need to measure our opponent's abilities. That is all I can really do. I believe I have gained sufficient data in this encounter. We can begin our strategy. Let us go to camp. I will formulate a plan to lead us to a flawless victory. Yes, Lord Zhang Yu. Allow me to lead the way. They retreated. Well, yeah, more like they let us go. It looks like that thing just stopped by to check us out. Just to check us out? You're joking. That thing was far more powerful than our servants. What in the hell was he? Dunno, but he didn't even try to keep his true name secret. That's how much he didn't care. He's like, yeah, my name is this. Zhang Yu. So that was Zhang Yu, the hegemon king of Western Chu, who vied with Li Bang, a founder of the Han Dynasty, for control of China. Are you alright, Lord Zhang Yu? I'm fine. It has been 2,048,000 hours since I last engaged in combat, but my chassis functioned without issue. I was hoping you would never need to take up your sword again. The Emperor has decreed I must. Combat may not be my original function, but this frame has since been optimized for it. As such, it is imperative I use it to destroy the Empire's enemies. Yes, now that you're here, our victory is all but assured. So those were the Chaldeans. They hail from the same world as you do. There are sworn enemy invaders who threaten the Empire's peace and prosperity. We can never coexist with them. Their goal and the Empire's are fundamentally opposed. I see. They did seem surprised to hear the name Zhang Yu. What you told me sounded impossible, but it would seem it really is true. There truly is a history where I am known as Zhang Yu. That's right. A single wayward branch of history led you to being given the name Zhang Yu. And later generations, knowing you as a human man. Me? A human? How could something so bizarre come to be? No matter how many times you tell me, it never ceased to surprise. That's how much China's history rippled out to the rest of the world. If the Emperor had passed away after a normal lifespan? Enough. Merely imagining such a thing gives us chills. Quite, Your Imperial Majesty. My humblest apologies. So tell us, how did you find your long-awaited return to the field of battle? My calculations show a clear path to victory. Let me handle the particulars, and defeating Chaldea will be no problem. We see, still, one can never be too careful. Thus, we have given Qing Lang Yu a battalion and sent her to join you. You will rendezvous with her and finish the enemy for good, ensuring a glorious victory for the Empire. Wait, Your Imperial Majesty. As they say, cleverness has never been associated with long delays. I never heard of that expression before. But it does make sense. Now that we have Lord Zhang Yu with us, our victory is a foregone conclusion. I think we should move to eliminate Chaldea as soon as possible. Oh, aren't you hasty? And as they say, haste makes waste. Surely you jest, Akuta. You have fled from them not once, but twice now. Your tactical insight, such as it is neither necessary nor welcome. Say, nah, it's like, let me be the tactician here. You just sit down and listen. Yes, Your Imperial Majesty. Please forgive my outburst. Oh, this is what Delante says all the time. Please forgive my outburst. Good. You're not to make a move until Qing Jiang Yu arrives. Until then, you will continue to monitor Chaldea and ensure they do not turn tail and run. As you wish. Alright, they camping now.
読書の秋、ラストスパート月間、小さなこと。
The demonic general descends. Now that we know he's Berserker, we can fight that man with a foreigner. Any foreigners? Alright, we'll see what Hotshot has over here. Let's see what he got. He's got Ruler. Is this or maybe just fight with protections in mind. We could single target and just end them quickly as well. Oh wait, since this guy kills so quickly, the first assault might be better because it activates guts, and when his guts activate, he gets pissed and he does more damage. So we'll do that. He got no foreigner, nope. But he got this though. I got that foreigner. Wait to use this one. Here we go. No support list order. Okay. I will put this one here. Yanguife? Oh, okay. We get started with this. Good luck? Okay. Okay, you say you learned something in your analysis, Holmes. Thanks to the remains of the automata we recovered earlier, I believe I have learned something. With Crown Prince Neja's help, I examined their inner workings and... yes, they look like me. Their quality, however, is most unfortunate. Their mechanisms only imitate my own. There is much degradation, and it pales in comparison. Too great. Taiyi Zen's faint work. The sage Taiyi Zen and his low spirit. So then, you think these soldiers use sage arts as a base instead of science? Even so, I suppose it is impressive that they work as well as they do, with makeshift parts instead of jewels of the old sage world. The key problem we face is that centaur-like cute creature that even calls Zhang Yu. What did you make of the combat footage I showed you, Neja? Oh yes, this one is much more like I am than the clay dolls. What does that mean? I have not seen this interior, but I can't say that much for certain. Many of his movements resemble my own style. Okay, so descendant of that style of fighting. Even though his form is so radically different from yours, I think those extra arms were bolted on later. His technique still reflects a human-shaped body. If he had been made in that form to start, he would move much more naturally. I see, a true martial artist's perspective proves most illuminating here. So, he's just flexing with those 4 other arms. He doesn't really know what to do with them. To crib from Holmes, this is just a preliminary theory. But I think he was originally a humanoid, patterned after my design, and that he became known as Zhang Yu after many further modifications. In addition, we know that the other mechanical soldiers are much weaker, thanks to their mechanisms made less complex. Prince Neja's body was made with sage arts from the Shang's dynasty, lost long before the age of Qing. However, if in this world Qin Shi Huang managed to recover and gain an understanding of these arts, scientific progress could subsequently have evolved them into something wholly different from what they were in proper human history. That could also explain how the Emperor managed to become immortal here, and why his Lostbelt has such unusual technology. There's no time to be admiring their handiwork. We should be asking ourselves what they're doing. For some reason, they haven't made a move. They've just been monitoring us from their camp about 2 kilometers away. My guess is they're waiting for something. This silence is rather unnerving. For the moment, I've asked Paragon to take the servants and remain on standby. How dare they treat Tai Zan's work with less respect than it is due. When next we meet, I will show them the power of my fire-tipped spear. The indignation. What the hell was that monster? I couldn't believe how strong he was. Yeah, he wasn't just some musclehead dumbass either. See, strength's actually a double-edged sword. If you're faster and more skilled than a stronger opponent, then you can still kick his ass all up and down the yard. But that guy was, how do I put this? His eyes were as cold as ice, a far cry from the mania of the battlefield. They were the eyes of an oppressor. If I ever seen them, he must be defeated no matter the cost. Yeah, he was freakishly cool-headed, like he was just calmly assessing our every move. It felt like he was predicting exactly what we would do, and what he needed to do to avoid every attack. Very creepy. It was well beyond martial arts. It was also strange that Prince of Langling called him Zhang Yu. If Qin Shi Huang really is still alive, I suppose it's not too strange that Zhang Yu might be too, since they lived at the same time. Yeah, they might have both been alive back then, but that thing we fought today wasn't even human. For that matter, why would Zhang Yu be a general working under the Qing Emperor? I mean, I only learned about this myself once I became a servant. But Zhang Yu was a central figure in the rebellion that destroyed the Qing dynasty after Qin Shi Huang died, right? So it was after the dynasty. I heard he competed with Li Ban, the guy who went on to create the Han dynasty for control of China. Okay, let's say he was always born to fight. Would someone like that just bend the knee and serve Qing all meek and obedient? I'm afraid I got even more bad news. There's a new army headed this way, and not by rocket this time. If these readings are right, it looks like they're on a wheeled transport. More reinforcements for Zheng Yang, huh? Yep, and the fact that they're traveling by land means they aren't just mechanical soldiers. This is a real flesh and blood army, led by an actual human general. Does this mean Akuda has been waiting to rendezvous with them? Probably. I guess they plan to end this by combining those armies to absolutely crush us. If they overwhelm us with sheer numbers, we'll have no way of fighting back. This is certainly a rather dire predicament. We can't even run away. There's nowhere we could hide in this wide open field. Then we should make the first move ourselves. Are you mad, you fool? You're not here to formulate strategy, especially not without asking me. Besides, you just saw for yourself how frighteningly strong that Zhang Yu monster is. Attacking first would be far too reckless. We can always retreat from this Lostbelt if necessary. Oh wait, I'll never be cute if we do that. We have to find a way to hold our ground. Now you're thinking on your toes. But then again, that Zhang Yu robot scares the hell out of me. What is he anyway? Some kind of living storm? I see our self-proclaimed commander is pretty rattled too. Yes, it might be reckless to go on the offensive now, but if we just wait around for the reinforcements to get here, we won't have a prayer. We should challenge that storm again. If nothing else, it's a chance to chip away at the enemy's forces. You're always so calm and collected, Jinki. If you think making the first move is the way to go too, then we might just have a chance. Alright, let's go on the attack. But be warned, I'm going to be keeping an even closer eye on Paragon's vitals than usual. Remember, we didn't come to China just so you could burn yourself out. You need to be real careful. Hey, as long as we take care of business before Paragon gets worn out, then it's all good, right? Either way, if we just stand here and wait for their reinforcements, we'll run out of options entirely. I say we strike now while the rebellion is hot. Alright, let's do our best, Paragon. But alright, attack them before they attack us. What? They've gone on the attack? In the middle of the night? That's right. The Master Chaldea and his servants are charging in like fools. Huh, this is perfect. Not even the Emperor would stop us from engaging invaders. Are you sure about this? We could still remain on the defensive until reinforcements arrive. No, the sooner we finish them off, the better. You're more than strong enough for that, Lord Zhang Yu. She's just too impatient. Just too impatient. This is her tragic flaw here. Very well then, I will do my best. I will join you, Hegemon King of Western Chu. It will be an honor to fight beside such a legendary hero. This time, we're going to obliterate Chaldea and their master. Don't leave so much as a trace of them behind. Alright, the run back. Oh, he's gonna take off his mask off the chain. Alright, he's like, I'm gonna take off this mask, give the guy a buff, it's over. Alright, he has 2 health bars. Okay. Okay. Let's just do this for now. We're gonna. Ooh, he's ready to attack. Let's just yeah, let's give him attack buff. There you go. I should have put Koya Sky here. We could have made short light work of this guy right here. Oh my goodness. Alright. That's okay though. Okay. I don't know if I should I don't know if I should use this yet. It's a tough choice. Okay. First, I'll for sure use this though. There you go. We'll hold on to that once he dies. In case they debuff, I prefer to do this if possible. Alright. We'll hold on to that. And we'll hold on to that. Okay. So first we'll work on this guy. Hit that triple combo. Actually, he's not at an advantage here though. A part of me just wants to get the damage off though. And I don't have an advantage here. Let's just attack with this, get as much damage off. Alright, he's doing it. He's doing the thing. He still hasn't died, oh my goodness. Alright, so we're gonna... Oh wait, I have this move. There you go. Now we can do something here. I need you to kill the first Hassan. Goodness, they're not doing it. They're killing me here. Oh my goodness. All right, let's get the invisibility up. They're not targeting him, and he's having his guts. Okay. Oh wait, but I have this now though. All right, let's hit. Does he have short hit with that, or how does that work? Increases death. It's just death. It just brings death. That's all. All right. Let's just do that death. Move on. He ain't gonna live this. He ain't living this. I'll tell you this. And just in case I kill the first bar, she's gonna be like, "I command you to MP now." The Saber has support MP. I have a concern, like, if I bring Zhang Yu down one break of bar rate, she's gonna be like, "I command you to NV now." And I was like, "Oh no," and then I'll just die. So let me just do this for now. Alright, here we go. And then we'll just do this. And we'll just kill him like this.
選択は下る。選んだ。受け負った。聞くがよい。万象は汝の名を指し示した。あずらい。ありえぬ。肉。骨。大だし。水だし。
Oh, that's it? Oh, okay. Hey, that wasn't too bad. He was about to take off the mask, too. We didn't let him do that. Shit, the enemy's reinforcements are almost here. I guess we're too late. That's enough, both sides. Lay down your arms. Huh? What? But we almost got them. Stand down, Akuta Hinako. The Emperor commands it. What's the meaning of this, Your Imperial Majesty? I thought you were sending in Qing Langyu and her army as reinforcements. Oops, I hit auto by accident. Indeed, I was. I ordered her to find Akuta in Chaldea, and I lent her aid to whichever side was losing. You're kidding me. You're still being merciful to Chaldea? How many times do I have to tell you? These barbarians are a threat to your empire. Ha, barbarian is it? It seems you've forgotten what we told you. This emperor's too arrogant. So far as we are concerned, you and Akuta are every bit as barbaric as these Chaldeans. But be that as it may, we are beginning to get a clearer picture of matters here. The quarrel between you and Akuta and Chaldea has nothing at all to do with us. You merely hope to use our territory as a stage to settle this quarrel. And so we are taking our time to assess both our allies and enemies, to determine who truly benefits our empire, and who is merely a useless interloper. Well, of course Akuta and I have been useful to you. Right, Your Imperial Majesty? One second. Let me do... We came here to serve the entire empire in our need. This flusher one is nice. Hold on, let me just... There you go. Next. That... let me see. Ah yes, that reminds us. What is this dire threat our empire faces? Is it the Chaldeans who have stumbled in like drunkards? Is it an invasion of Zhangyang, my capital city? What say you, Hangxing? No, Your Imperial Majesty. The area that poses the greatest danger to the empire lies outside that massive, impenetrable storm. I speak, of course, of the entire rest of the world, as it is now cut off from Your Imperial Majesty's blessing. Then what is currently our most pressing need? But that would be gathering information about the world outside the storm. And not by taking a stranger's word, but by sending our soldiers you know and trust. Good. Yeah. That's precisely what we had planned. We would expect no less from one of our most loyal retainers. Very well. How might we go about sending soldiers into the storm to investigate? I doubt the ones who came here on their own will be much help. Whatever ability that let them come from their world is most likely something they can only use on themselves. And what of the more recent arrivals in our domain? The Chaldeans seem to have crossed the storm using some kind of strange vehicle. So if we had that vehicle, we should be able to do the same, theoretically. We're about to get carjacked? Well, we will still need to learn how to use the vehicle. If not, how it was built and how it functions. But once we do, it should serve to transport the entire Empire's army to the world outside. This Emperor is good. That's a surprising amount of clarity about the big and small picture. Oh, maybe he sees like, he's like, forget this lost belt. I want to go to a different lost belt. He's like, this lost belt can burn for all I care. Let's go to the other. Let's go explore the world. All right. There you have it. Kali has a much more valuable bargaining chip than either you or Akuta. If you wish to negotiate with us, you'll need to offer something of far greater value. Tayus Kapun. My name is Koyanskaya. Are you sure you aren't doing this on purpose, Your Imperial Majesty? Of course, we thought we were doing you a kindness, since you would surely dislike being called by the name you deserve. Or would you prefer we forego all consideration and call you Daji? Fox woman. Dang! She got the Daji'd, not the fox. The disrespect. Pardon me. He was completely unarmed. You grossly underestimated our intelligence, as well as our Imperial Guard's proficiency in Kung Fu. We were almost offended. She must have thought this was still the same China she enjoyed toying with as she pleased. Now then, let us begin our negotiations anew. That's crazy. Hello there, loyal soldiers and people of Chaldea. We trust you can hear our voice. Who said that? I think it's come from Master Shield. The voice of an empire is heard by all its citizens, no matter where they may be. It will find them just as surely as the sun's rays. In this case, we are merely focusing a magnetic beam upon that girl's shield, thereby causing it to vibrate. We could use anything of sufficient rigidity, but we assume you prefer your skulls not rattle directly. That's some scare tactics right there. The voice of an empire. Then does that mean we are preparing to hand over this Koya something or other person you have been seeking so desperately? You mean Koyanskaya? Oh, that's a good bargaining chip for sure. Correct. However, in exchange, you must agree to let us examine that vehicle of yours in detail. Accept this condition, and we will guarantee you safe conduct in these lands. None will dare threaten you while you are under our protection. What? Your Imperial Majesty, what are you saying? Akuta Hinako, if you had shown yourself capable of capturing that vehicle unharmed, we would not have resorted to these measures. But you have all but trumpeted your intention of leaving not so much as a trace of Chaldea behind. You fought to destroy them, Shadow Border and all, despite being fully aware that that is not what we desired. Good. Still, the foxwoman aside, you have your uses, so we will treat you accordingly. We will not punish you merely for acting against our wishes. However, know that if you insist on continuing to war with Chaldea, you will face the White Cavalry spears. Dang, she gets no respect in this place either. Be warned, if my Emperor commands it, I will show you no mercy. A reminder of who's control here, the majestic Emperor of the heavens. What would you have me do, Master? We have little choice but to accept this, for now. Very well then, Chaldea. Now that we all have time to calm down, what is your answer? Oh, and do note that our audio is not as crisp as our video. When you wish to speak to us, make sure that you face directly upwards and raise your voice. For our part, just having another option for exiting this current predicament is more than we could have hoped for. Even if that option may cause other problems down the road. At this point, I believe capturing Koyanskaya and securing the antidote is far and away our highest priority. Though, of course, Mr. Paragon will need to make the final call. Huh, not me? Let's just keep your position to ourselves for now. Besides, that voice is speaking to Paragon. And I'm pretty sure it wouldn't be happy about being interrupted. Wait, I don't accept. There has to be a better way. March down there and get Koinskaya. There's nothing like more than the truth. Good, good. A most reasonable answer. Now then, let's be certain of one thing before we begin to make arrangements. Do you know who we are? You're King Shi Huang, the first emperor of Qing. Right you are. We thought we might need to explain all that in excruciating details. We were relieved to see that these concerns were baseless. What if he answers Julius Caesar and immediately he just smites you from across the map? It's like game over. Very well then. Now that we know you properly understand our eminence, let us proceed. To begin, King Lang Yu there has been brought with a number of engineers. King Lang Yu there has brought with her a number of engineers. Okay. You will admit them, along with their equipment, aboard the Shadow Border. How do we know they won't break anything? Very well then. We will have our engineers conduct their work entirely under Kalia's supervision. However, be aware that they will not cease their investigation until they are satisfied with the results. We trust you can work together in good faith. Any other questions? Where are you speaking to us from? Yeah, and I thought I heard you say something terrifying about magnetic beams. I'm speaking from directly above you, of course. Turn your head upwards and it should be abundantly clear. Directly above us, you mean? Yes, the Great Wall. The Great Wall? But I thought that was built on the ground. The ground? Oh, you mean that thing was once used to keep the Huns away? Ah, just how out of date is your knowledge of China? There has not been a Great Wall on the ground since our empire absorbed all of other nations. Does this mean this empire no longer has any foreign enemies? Correct. This entire planet is now our domain. As such, any outside barbarians that might pose a threat would have to come from beyond the sky. Naturally, we could not merely sit around waiting for such hostile visitors to arrive, or it would be too late to defend against them. So we decided to fortify our defenses ahead of time. This great feat of architecture was built over the course of 300 years. Perhaps you know that the original Great Wall name meant the 10,000 li long castle. Well, this is far longer. If we were to measure it in li, it would be 131,442 li in length. Man, where do you begin picking that apart? You say you began space development in the 18th century. That's as preposterous as Gandhi dropping an atomic bomb. Oh, he'd be surprised. Back in the previous Sid Meier's, Gandhi resets himself and goes to 9. He starts dropping nukes. We admit, we didn't believe that the only possible threat to our empire might come from the stars. But we must say, even we did not expect to face one of this particular nature. Indeed, it was such a great shock to see those impenetrable storm clouds, if that is even what they are, suddenly appear around this area of China. We no longer receive reports from the parts of the Great Wall that extend beyond China. The only parts that seem to function are those above China. The light of our glory once encompassed the entire globe, but now, those accursed storm clouds have severed us from our own world, plunging it back into darkness. This is a tragedy. Without our guidance, our people will regress back to a state of chaos and violence. Thus, we must once again bring peace and harmony to the rest of the world. That's why you want the Shadow Border? Yes, that's it. The single vehicle alone is insufficient to our purpose. We will need to produce vast quantities of them, and of greater size capable of carrying much larger cargo, so we shall require blueprints. Ah, so that's why you want us to let your engineers analyze it. Given that you are able to pass through a storm that permits no physical interference whatsoever, we assume you are able to pass through void space? I'm impressed. I can't believe you figured that out at a glance. We understand the theory, of course, but cannot imagine how it was actually achieved, and so we wish to learn how this conveyance was constructed. Ideally, we would like to confiscate it and disassemble it to be thorough, but this would be a great inconvenience to you, would it not? So we are willing to compromise and simply work with data alone. Consider this as a display of our benevolence. My thing is, why not just destroy Chaldea? Like, even they say they can't. Oh, but they don't know why they're there. Maybe they're concerned, oh, if we try to destroy them outright, they'll take the shadow border and leave. They don't know the reason why Chaldea is here. They just know, oh, they're here for Queen Skya. If they knew they were poisoned, they would probably be more aggressive. They was like, you know what, they can't leave. Their hands are tied. But the world outside the storm is... Ah yes, Akuta and that fox woman told us some nonsense about Lostbelts and proving theoretical phenomenon. If you insist upon feeding us the same lies, we may lose our temper. Now would be a great time to stop talking, Paragon. Oh no. There is no point in guessing why you visitors speak of the outside world in such a vague generalities. We will make our own judgments once we have seen past the storm walls for ourselves. May I ask you something, Your Imperial Majesty? Did a strange tree happen to appear in this land around the same time as the storm? Specifically a tree of light so large it reaches up to the sky. Oh, what an odd question. Do such things often appear out of nowhere in your world? Huh, we see you are still hiding something from us, Akuta. Oh, they don't know. Well, no matter. We are well aware she has some cards yet to play. No doubt they have something to do with her differences with you. Our interest, though, lies solely in maintaining peace in our empire and reclaiming its territories. We have no intention of becoming involved in disputes between visitors, unless those disputes become something that affects us. Now then, let us be candid. You inquired about a tree of light? The answer is no. Our sight extends to all of China, and we observe nothing of the sort. All of China, huh? What if it's outside the wall? Since it seems like you don't stand on formality too much, I'm just gonna ask. Are you sure you don't mind speaking with us directly like this, Your Imperial Majesty? What do you mean? Well, most people in positions like yours like to, dress up their negotiations a bit, right? They like to trot out intermediaries and representatives and the like. Usually they make a point never to meet face to face. I mean, drawing a firm line between themselves and the lesser people by refusing to speak to them directly is a big part of how nobles like to demonstrate their difference in status, right? Ah, what a strange thing to say at this point. We see in your world, monarchs are so insecure that they refuse to even permit themselves to be seen for fear of something seeming less than perfect. Tell us, does the sun seek to hide from the public eye? Does the moon hide itself from the people's gaze? We are the Emperor, the child of heaven, the celestial existence who reigns over all citizens. That is why we permit them audience. Just as the sun's light bathes every corner of the earth, so too does our glory shine upon every person on this world who looks up to us. Still, we suppose that if the sun looked the same as anyone else, it may feel a need to put on a bit of a show to emphasize its power and status. Then you don't mind letting us see your face. Huh, now that you go, what are you going about? You have been gazing upon my visage for some time now. Huh? Well, we suppose you cannot see us with your naked eyes, but not with the horizon in the way. But you have still been observing us with those mechanical birds of yours, have you not? Indeed, our eyes have met a number of times. I'm sorry, I don't understand. We've been observing Zhang Yang from a distance, yes, but... What? Then you stare at us without realizing who it is you look upon? How insolent. We suppose you could not help your ignorance. But now that you know, you should be more careful. Wait, hang on. Are you telling us that that thing floating above Zhang Yan is... Yes, that is us. That whole castle. This holy vessel is the result of abandoning our earthly body, as it could only be deteriorating and imbuing all our authority within this machine in its stead. So this whole thing is the Emperor, Qin Shanghuang. In the 2,200 years that have passed since, this body has grown and expanded along with our nation, and now we shall never touch the ground again. Still, our grandeur is vividly apparent in this form, making it easy for our people to understand. We are the first and last emperor, the immortal ruler, who shall reign over the world for all of eternity. We are King Xinhuang. How do you take this thing down, though? Goodness, this is a whole building that has to go down. Oh, he has a root right. You could just chop it down. There's no war in Bang Sing Se. We do one more. There's only one node. We do this, then call it. Alright, here we go.
シェイクスピアさんが本文を作り、ゴッホさんが表紙のイラストを描く。慣れた頃ほど油断しやすいもの、受け取り忘れにはご注意くださいね。
Alright, okay, so this, I think this is probably trash mobs, probably. Oh, there he is. Alright. So, Saber and Riders. Let's bring Archer and Assassins. We'll bring this. Section 7, King Shi Huang. Man, of all the ways for the Emperor to obtain immortality, that one just didn't even occur to me. Well, he just became a machine. So after finding Nezha's remains in the Shang Dynasty ruins, the Emperor must have worked out some sort of cybernetic breakthrough way back in the BC era. You grilled her? Oh yeah! Yo, I did. I grilled her. I grilled her for the event. So there's two things I did, right? I liked Anastasia so much. I was like, this is a pretty cool character. It's a nice single target unit. I'm gonna grill her. And to get the 3 coins yesterday for that Castoria roll, I max ascended Salter. That's how I got 3 sync coins, and then I rolled and I got the what was that, Medusa? Who was it? Was one of those units. No wonder the technology in this Lostbelt is so topsy-turvy. So the Emperor must have abandoned the Zaren's exploration and found a way to attain immortality another way. You best me to say. What? There's plenty of food to go around, though. Go to 100. That's funny. That meal, that's an expensive meal. It was like 10 million just to take a bite out of it. Goodness. Zenerin. The Zenerin were Taos mountain sages, or hermits, if you like, who sought eternal truth. They also perfected their bodies, thereby achieving eternal youth and life. In proper human history, the first emperor of Qing attempted to become one such Zenin through an immortality elixir made with Chinese alchemy. He just became gourmet? Oh no. But as it happened, repeated, long-term use of this elixir only resulted in fatal mercury poisoning. Alchemy has always been a great deal more than trial and error than success, no matter where it was practiced. But in this lost belt, the same emperor must have given up on alchemy in favor of technology based on Neja. Well, Prince Neja's body was still created by a Zenerin, so it's not as though that represented too big of a divergence from the path. But the decision to surrender human form and grant only the mind immortality cannot have been made lightly. From there, if the emperor was able to stamp out all the dissent in the rest of China and continue ruling the resulting empire at the height of its power, conquering the rest of the world seems only a matter of course. Yes, well, as a mage, I can't say I approve of that, but I'm glad this emperor turned out to be such a reasonable fellow. Indeed, this was a most unexpected development. I never would have guessed that a Lost Belt ruler would sever ties with his cryptors in favor of negotiating with us. That said, what do you make of the request to examine the shadow border in exchange? It's definitely a risk. I mean, we didn't so much as tell the other Lost Belts factions that zero sailing is even a thing. The Russian and Scandinavian Lost Belt both seem to have their hands full with their own affairs. But China is different. Quite so. This empire is under the impression that the rest of the world is part of its domain, and that the storm is responsible for severing their ties to the rest of their land. They see this situation as an unprecedented disaster, much like we did with proper human history being wiped out of existence. So they plan on conquering the other Lost Belts as well, and spreading the rule of Chinese dynasty. I wonder what they think if they saw the world outside their Lost Belt. I guess they'd be pretty angry. Yeah, their potential reaction is key. There are several Lost Belts, but only one Earth. It's a recipe for the biggest, crappiest game of musical chairs ever. Since there's no way for all these different civilizations to coexist, instead of existing in parallel worlds, they all have to fight to exist on the same Earth. So the Lost Belts that aren't preoccupied with just scraping by are eventually going to have to fight others if they want to expand their territory further. Didn't Kristari say everyone's chi would be fighting? So the Cryptors, Team A, are competing with each other at the same time they're fighting proper human history. Why would Kristaria choose this? We have insufficient evidence to come to any conclusion about his motives, so let's leave that aside for now. The salient point at the moment is that all the Lost Belts will eventually be competing with each other for survival. Right, and while proper human history may be at a disadvantage with all of its territories gone, there's still one thing we have that the Lost Belts don't. Of course, the shadow border. And because of that, we're still the only ones with the ability to zero sail between Lost Belts as we please. But if one of the Lost Belts had the border, they'd have a serious leg up over the others, huh? Dang, I can't believe this. Qin Shi Huang was thinking that far ahead. Indeed, though all of this assumes that China does indeed have all the other nations under its rule. Then once King Shi Huang ventures outside his Lost Belt, the first move they make will be to go on the attack against other Lost Belts rather than Chaldea. This could be our big chance to swoop in while the other sides are weak from fighting each other and take the prize for ourselves. I'm afraid not, Mr. Gordoff. The outcome we need to be concerned about is King Shi Huang gaining an overwhelming advantage thanks to the Shadow Border's technology. Yeah, once you have all those Lost Belts cooperating with each other, if he overwhelms all of them, then that's several Lost Belts that'll have to be corrected. It'll be harder too. And going on to claim the entire planet as their own. Right, if that happens, we'll be responsible for creating the biggest threat to restoring proper human history ourselves. And there's no way to tell how it'll play out until we open the lid on this figurative Pandora's box. So no matter what we do, we're taking a big risk. There's also the possibility that we may become collateral damage when the Lost Belt begins to battle one another in earnest. Still, while we cannot rule that outcome out indefinitely, it's far better a way that we can worry about it later. In the meantime, our most pressing concern by far is finding an antidote for Director Gordoff and Mr. Paragon. Yes, exactly, Holmes. I always knew you had a kind heart deep down underneath your gruff detective exterior. Well, I guess we can't deny that Tubby here is in trouble. If they really do hand Coin Sky over as promised, does that mean we'll have one less thing to worry about? Well, in one sense, yes, but having Coin Sky as a prisoner will create another, very serious problem. If anything, it only further raises the question of how we will go about settling matters in this Lost Belt. And then there's the fact that we still can't find his Tree of Emptiness. Indeed, I was surprised to learn that not even King Shi Huang knew about it. Does that mean Hinako doesn't know either? What am I saying? Of course she does. I mean, it's her job as a cryptid to protect this world's Tree of Emptiness with her life. Quite so. Her behavior has been most peculiar from the beginning. Both Kadok and Ophelia had formed alliances with their Lost Belt rulers and share a goal to expand their territory in the future. But here in China, the only one who seems interested in territory expansion is King Shi Huang. It even seemed as though Akuta was trying to hold King Shi Huang back. Yeah, the only thing that seemed to interest her was wiping us out. That's true. I got the sense that she wanted to dispose of us before King Shi Huang started paying attention to the outside world. I can't tell if she's being reactive or proactive. So hey, this might be too late by now, but are we sure it's okay to talk about the stuff in here? I mean, King Shi Huang keeps an eye on all of China, right? How do we know the Emperor's not listening in right now? True, the thought of the Emperor peeping on us from low orbits is more than a little creepy. But the flip side of that is that all the Emperor can do, we should still assume our heat signatures are visible, even with the roof in the way. But as far as audio is concerned, the Emperor mentioned that the quality isn't good, and we can only be heard when we're looking up and raising our voices. I know because I tried yelling a bunch of obscenities at the Emperor when I was in the cockpit. So that's what all this stuff about old geezers, cyberpunk ripoffs, and 80 leftovers was. Anyway, leaving the Emperor constantly watching us at all times would get annoying, so I made this. What is it? A stealth module for your new Mystic Code. I tried modeling off of Robin Hood's No-Face Mate King. Just think of it as a streamlined, portable, bounded field. That's amazing. When did you even have time to make that? Thanks, but it's really not quite as impressive as it sounds. There are a lot of stability issues and other kinks to work out. If the mono levels in the atmosphere are too dense, or it's really hot or really cold, it falls apart like a house of cards. So you're going to use it like in springtime or something like that. So that means it would be pretty useless in the other two lost belts we've seen. I see, but when one considers how stable this lost belt's environment is, it becomes clear how useful such a module would be here. Oh, it also focuses on precision over area effect, so it won't hide you from someone close by. But since we only have to worry about long-range spying here, it should work perfectly in this case. What the? Did Zhang Yang just launch something else at us? Let's go check it out, Paragon. Oh, a benefaction. Our village got a benefaction. Most glorious and majestic Heavenly Emperor wishes to thank you for your hospitality to our otherworldly visitor. Be grateful for this blessing. And thank you, most glorious and majestic Heavenly Emperor. Thank you. Benefaction. I remember now. They said that's what those rockets are usually used to deliver. Man, they're so lucky. I can't wait till I'm a grown-up and can get benefactions too. You mean kids never get them? We do, but they usually don't work as well when you're little as when you're grown up. They sure don't for me. Say, wanna try mine and see what they're like for us, mister? Here you go. It looks like medicine. Yep, it clears your head out and makes you feel really good. It's like a dream come true. Is that so? Give it here. Remember your reputation. Rest assured, I'm not speaking solely out of personal desire. Don't you think such a drug is worth analyzing? This could be some sort of technology unique to this lost belt that has no counterpart in proper human history. Yeah, that's true. It could be like an elixir that cures all diseases. Because I noticed that this population is quite healthy. I haven't seen a sick person yet in this lost belt, so he takes care of his underlings. I see. So this benefaction isn't money then? Of course not. I doubt this farming village even has a monetary economy. Then again, the fact that we see so much agriculture would suggest some economic activity. What if their crops yield tremendous surplus every year without fail? Is that even possible? In our world, using methods of agriculture with which we are familiar, no. But things may work differently in this world. I took a look at the wheat they're growing, and it was like nothing I've ever seen. In fact, I can't even be certain it is wheat. All I can say for certain is that it has been heavily modified. That's called a GMO. Perhaps this seemingly primitive form of agriculture is actually far more advanced than we had been giving it credit for. Even though these farmers don't have as much as a single tractor, perhaps their methods are so advanced they have no need for machines. Why don't you analyze the wheat along with that shady drug then? You might just learn something. I cannot say that the wheat is nearly as interesting as the drug. But now that we no longer need to look for Koinskaya, I suppose I could spare the time. Hey, isn't that King Xing Huang's? Hi there. The engineers just went on break. That vehicle's like your home anyway. Away from home, right? I'm sorry you can't use it during our investigation. Are you finding everything to your liking in our camp in the meantime? Oh yes, it's very pleasant here. The air is so clean and fresh too. It's so nice to have a place outside our vehicle where we can relax. We didn't really have that in the other places we've been to. Oh, I'm glad to hear it. Oh right, I haven't introduced myself yet. Qing Lang Yu, a general of the Empire. Qing Lang Yu, huh? You're from the Ming period, right? Ming, alright. The history of your own world is entirely different from ours, isn't it? I think they say Qing's reign ended quickly there, and that numerous other dynasties sprung up in this place. Here in this world, the only emperor I know is Qing Xing Huang, who has reigned for the last 2200 years. That aside, the fact that you're still alive in this day and age is a great surprise to us. Did King Xinhua make you immortal too, by any chance? Of course not. I was just permitted to sleep in Mount Li after my accomplishments in the Bozhou Rebellion. Here in the Empire, any warrior who makes a name for themselves is put to rest in times of peace and is only awakened again when they are needed. So you employ cryogenic freezing, and I presume there is no need to keep a standing army here? Was Zhang Yu frozen in Mount Li too? Zhang Yu? Oh, I see. So you call that thing Zhang Yu too? She's talking too much. She's giving away all the secrets. That thing? No, that thing is just a valuable relic. It's one of the most glorious and majestic Heavenly Emperor's most impressive accomplishments, which is saying a lot. It's both one of the cornerstones of this eternal empire and a monument to it. But as you can see, it's not a living soldier. You can say it's the ancestor to the mechanical army. So King Xinghua's army is composed of these dolls, and you commanders from the past were unfrozen in order to lead them. Of course, I'm also told that the royal guards in Xingyuan are always assembled from soldiers of the current era. I've even heard that some elites have received instructions and stage art from most glorious and majestic Heavenly Emperor in person. But King Xinhuan has no need to keep a full army on hand at all times. The mechanical soldiers are more than sufficient, and the generals needed to lead them can always be summoned from their quarters in Mount Li. It's been a long time since I was frozen myself, and I'm also told there hasn't been any sort of disturbance for the last 100 years. So you're saying war has been eradicated from this world? Even out when I was a young girl, war was only ever something I read about in history books. I mean, wars can only be fought between countries, right? But there haven't been any countries besides our empire for over 800 years. The only reason I took up the spear was to help put down revolts. Then Qin Shi Huang had achieved dominion over the world by the 13th century. We started implementing gunpowder well before any other country, so no nation was able to oppose us. That's right. That's a true fact right there. Gunpowder was invented in China. The discovery of the function tree was a big help too, as it helped us make huge leaps in our medical science. It's all thanks to the most glorious and majestic Heavenly Emperor abandoning mortal flesh in favor of a holy, undying vessel. What's the Feng Song tree? I'm told it's the embodiment of the sage's secrets, a treasure trove of hidden mystic wisdom. Others know it as the Tree of Life. Most glorious and majestic Heavenly Emperor discovered it while searching the sage world for the secrets to immortality. Does that mean King Shaoheng really did manage to become a sage? No, most glorious and majestic Heavenly Emperor had already achieved immortality through the holy vessel before discovering the Feng Sun tree. They say the Emperor chose to remain in metal form rather than ascend to the heavens, because it was a better way to lead the nation. Still, it took over 300 years to complete the search, and it wouldn't have been possible without abandoning the shackles of mortality. In the end, the Emperor decided to use the sage's knowledge of medicine to improve the people's lives. With all manner of disease, hunger, and pestilence eradicated, and our soldiers' strength enhanced through elixirs, no other country's forces stood a chance against us. Sage art's base biochemistry, huh? That reminds me, isn't this a rather unnecessary large plot of farmland for this number of residents? You think, huh? I suppose everyone does have their hands full during the harvest. But the wheat grows on its own the rest of the time, so it doesn't seem like too much work to me. Wow, it's self-growing wheat? That's cool. Is that so? I do beg your pardon. I really thought that all this wheat might result in quite the surplus, given how people live here. Perhaps you take more than half of the harvest as a form of taxation. Of course, everything the village can't eat is taken to Zhangyang. Oh, so anything left over goes to the emperor. I see. Now suppose Zhangyang must be an immensely populous city. No, not especially. Ah, now I see. I take it wheat is still only grown for food in your world? Is that not the case here? Wheat is a key ingredient for ethanol, the Empire's most valuable source of energy. Well, don't I look a proper fool? I was completely taken in by appearances. So, this rather mundane looking wheat field is actually used primarily for growing your fuel source. I did hear that the world you come from has a completely different history from ours. I can only speculate, but I gather the world you come from must be a cruel and unforgiving place. This Lostbelt is not that bad. It's pretty peaceful. What makes you say that? Both you and that young lady are, I do hope that doesn't offend you, but neither of you look as though you enjoy fighting. You have such kind eyes, so much that I can scarcely imagine you in any quarrels to begin with. Quote, and yet that weapon that young lady carries looks to be so heavy and dense that even the most seasoned of our warriors would have difficulty handling it. What's more, I can tell she wields it as naturally as if it were an extension of her whole body. That people such as yourselves have been forced to become adept at combat at such a young age. Well, this is a great deal about how harsh your world must be. Dang, it looks like they're gonna party all night, huh? That benefaction stuff must be some real good shit. Indeed. What's going on, man? This isn't like you. I thought you'd be all up in arms about, these poor people dancing in the meager blessings from their oppressors, dying to bestow upon them, or something. Yes, perhaps under other circumstances I would. But seeing how happy they are right now, it's difficult to find fault in this. So that's how it is, huh? It was the pain and starvation I was so many forced to endure that first movie to rebellion. They were treated more like animals than people. Their smiles and moments of hard-won victory and freedom were so fragile, so honorable. They were nothing like what I see here now. Now that I think of it, I've never seen anywhere so filled with joy and peace as this village. Of course not. These sheep don't even know what war is. Remember? Couldn't be further from our world. I had always hoped that the blood my compatriots and I shed would buy smiles like this. But I never dreamed I would truly get to see them. This world is too perfect for the likes of me. So he said he's not gonna... He wants to stay here. If you want to stay here, Spartacus, you can stay here and disappear with this Lostbelt. Oh my goodness. Ain't that the truth? Tell me, O knight, are you sure we should even be here? You effing kidding me? Why would you even ask? You get along great with these people. I know, but even so, something continues to feel off. I cannot help but wonder. Do we heroic spirits truly have a place on the battlefields of these Lostbelts? Paragon, are you up? Having trouble sleeping, Mash? Yes, I'm afraid my nerves are still frayed from the battle we fought earlier today. I'm glad we survived thanks to King Shi Huang's interceding, but it was too close for comfort. Why don't we get some fresh air and get attacked by the giants? Okay, thank you for joining me, Paragon. Alright, here comes the Jotuns and the dogs. I see the villagers are still enjoying their festival. I guess these benefactions must be a huge cause for celebration. Holmes said he suspected they might be a luxury good, much like alcohol in our world. The fact that it's like a drug makes me a little nervous though. Maybe our perspective is off there, since we're used to Holmes' habit. Anyway, it looks like they're going to keep the Shadow Border investigation going through the night. I hope Da Vinci will be okay supervising them. That leaves us without nothing to do for once. Yeah, it feels like forever since we last had free time to ourselves. This Lostbelt is really peaceful, isn't it? Something wrong? Paragon, I've seen a world like this before. It was a world of possibilities, united under a single ideal. You mean... Yes, the King of Mages, Goetia, envisioned a history of humanity that was free from strife and suffering. This is Goetia's ideal world. I disagreed with him. There was something about a world completely lacking any pain or adversity that just felt wrong to me. But now, the way people live here seems so close to the world, yet it's still rich with life and the scent of earth. These people aren't illusions. They're just as real as we are. But we're still this world's enemies. Yes, I know. Even after we take Coin Sky into custody and secure an antidote, that won't be the end of it. We can't stop fighting until we find the Tree of Emptiness. Cut it down. I think in that faraway shot that we saw of the Emperor, there was a stem holding him up. I wonder if that's the Tree of Emptiness that's holding him up. And prune this world away like it was originally meant to be. I know this is a rare chance to rest and relax, but when I think about that, I just can't get to sleep. It's been so long since we've seen such a beautiful night sky. Paragon, get back. It would seem I missed my chance. I thought it would be easy to kill you under cover of darkness. I underestimated those who have spent their lives dedicated to the art of war. Even if it would take no more than a single stroke of my sword, I cannot bring myself to sneak up behind and murder someone in cold blood, as they admired the beauty of the night sky. Prince Alaline, but we call the truce right now. No, you and the Emperor call the truce. My master and I agreed to no such thing. Oh, they're gonna run it back for the third time? As such tonight, when everyone else had lowered their guard, would have been a perfect chance to end you, Master of Chaldea. Ordinarily, I would like nothing more than for those moved by beautiful things to live out their lives in peace and happiness. But now that we have met as enemies, that can never be. I'd hoped to end you before you had to feel any need for fear. Forgive me for my incompetence. Did you really think it would be that easy, servant? King Lang Liu, did you honestly believe I would fail to protect our allies in a moment perfect for assassination? Perhaps a true assassin would have been able to elude me, but you? Not a chance. Tuh. Warriors like you are meant to cross swords on the field of battle, not skulk around in the dead of night. Your master must be grossly ignorant of war to send you on a mission so badly suited to your abilities. Silence! I will not suffer any insult to my master. Still, now that I have heard such insolent remarks, I need feel no guilt for drawing my sword. For that, you have my thanks, General. Oh man, it's like, how many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man? And stop taking off that dang mask. Ain't gonna do anything.
さあ、プレイボール。一人残らず殴り殺すわ。野球ってそんなものでしょ？あら、違う？
I guess I'll use this.
日向の匂い、火薬の匂い。はち切れそうでしょ？
I
私が。
いいわよ。
あくまで華麗にぴょんぴょん
はい
と動かない。無駄ですよ。この私が。泣けよ。
いいわよ。
国家二重。ほら。
Alright, here we go. Let's just get her art bar up.
Iちいち切り裂くの面倒。センスない。死んだ。
Maybe I should use. I did the wrong order there, but okay.
恨まれたらそれまでって。ほら、ゴミになれ。どう？負ける。行きます。とう。
Alright, let's do it again. Unlucky. Alright, so we have. What is this? Let's just send all three of them out. All three MPs out.
夏らしく輝きましょう。好き放題扱ってあげましょう。
Oh, these are single targets.
私の神殿ご覧になります？
Okay, I'll make sure hers kill.
了解。さあ、冬の時間よ。用心しねえ。じゃんじゃじゃーん。見て、この躍動、天を揺るがすエンジン。私、守備に走りました。さあ、支配してあげましょう。夏でもこたつ、冬でもアイス、すべてが反転してかき氷出来上がり。スニークレーター、スネグーラチカ。何もわからないまま死んじゃえば。仕切り直す。交代せよ。無駄ですよ、無駄ですよ。この私が。泣けよ。どうぞどうぞ。国家二重。痛い？はいどう。本当にこんなことでいいの？無欲な人間ね。もっと面白い出し物用意してあげるのよ。
I stalled long enough. Any chance you had at a victory is gone. Prince of Laling. Qing Langling speaks the truth. My time, though, it may be even we, at such great remove, cannot help but notice such tumultuous commotion. Duh. Oh, now you done messed up. We trust you can hear our voice, Akuta Hinako. What do you have to say for yourself? Akuta, I know you may not understand right now, Your Imperial Majesty, but I promise that everything I've done has been for the prosperity of your empire. Is that so? Then it would seem you indeed have no intention of honoring our wishes. Now then, what to do with you? We doubt the threat of beheading would be enough to cow you. No, if we are to punish you, then we must take something else away. Ah yes, I know. Come here, Kuja Zero. You summoned me, Your Imperial Majesty. Uh-oh. Zhang Yu? We did. Rip your core out of your chest and smash it to pieces immediately. Wait, what? As you wish, Your Imperial Majesty. Wait, what? Wait, please, wait. Wait, what? I'm sorry, please, anything but that. So you are able to plead for forgiveness. You must be quite attached to that machine indeed. That's crazy. Akuta. Please have mercy. I swear I will serve you faithfully from this moment forward. I'll do anything you ask, anything at all. Just please spare his life. We will hold to your word, Akuta Hinako. Know that the only reward for defying our will is to fear far worse than any mere death. Yes, Your Imperial Majesty, I swear I will never let go against your wishes again. Well done, Qinglang Yu. You need not concern yourself with that woman any longer. Understood, Your Imperial Majesty. Yeah, he was about to kill him, you know, like that's like your best dude. That's crazy. Like, I'm like he's a mad lad for sure. Lord Paragon, I suggest you return to the camp and retire for the night. Paragon, let's go, Maj. Okay. I must ask you once again. Yes. Who is this Zhang Yu you speak of? To answer that, I will need to tell you another, very different story first. The one where the Emperor died before obtaining the Holy Vessel? That's right. After the Emperor passed, the quest for mortality was seemingly buried with him. You were no exception, as you were kept hidden away in the secret Kaiji laboratory. But someone found and reactivated you, a man by the name of Jinglong Liang. Oh, now it makes sense. He went on to become one of the many people attempting to rule China for himself after the decline of Qing. Yeah, he's that crazy. That man, he don't care, man. Like, then in this history, I fell into rebel hands. There was an opening in the this Lostbelt where La Ling was talking to someone else. I have to go revisit that one. Was it him? Zilong Ling wanted to use your superhuman abilities to further his own ambitions. So he gave you his surname of Jiang, the first name of Ji, and the courtesy name of Yu, and presented you as his nephew, despite knowing you were not actually human. Yeah. True. I was only given my current combat frame long after I was first activated. My original chassis was entirely humanoid. No one ever suspected Jinglong Yang was lying. The thought simply never occurred to them. So... So, La Ling found him, reactivated him, And then, for, you know, to try to become the emperor of China. And he named him Zhang and Yu, okay? And yeah, he was human originally, okay? Okay. The emperor had based you on Tai Zirian's creation. A machine as advanced as you was beyond anyone's imagination at the time. And these guys are the mountain sages, like drinking the mercury and stuff with the alchemy. Then I was treated as a person rather than a device. Given your appearance, no one had any reason to suspect you were anything other than human, regardless of how exceptionally skilled you may have been. In time, future generations would come to know Zhang Yu as one of China's greatest warriors. Yet none of them would ever know your true identity, nor how you were made. Something is amiss with your claims. If this Jialing Long person kept my origins and the truth of my creation a secret, how did you come to learn the truth? Who are you really? She's about to say I am from proper human history. I am just a drifter. One who came to the Lostbelt solely to be reunited with you. My beloved Lord Zhang Yu. Oh, what? Wow. And the plot thickens. So last Lostbelt we had Ophelia having the hots for Cristadia. This time it's Hinako towards, well, I guess they were a thing in the past, I guess. Wait, they're doing it one node by one node. Oh man, it's so tempting. But I feel like this is gonna be very long. This is how they get you, right? Here's another node. Here's another node. So, hold on, let me. We got this too. Okay, I think we gotta. The story's getting pretty good though. Let me just read just a little bit more. It'd be like 5 hours later. Oh, just a little bit more. and then, all right, let me just do one more note here. Here we go. Okay, this is just full lore though. Full lore. All right, here we go. Section 8, Land of Peace. Huh, sounds like you had quite the evening. Peculiar though this may be, it does present another piece of the puzzle. Unfortunately, it does nothing to make the larger picture any easier to see. We know that the Cryptid's first priority is defending their Tree of Emptiness. And yet, Akuta has not told the Lostbelt King of the tree's importance. Furthermore, she moved to eliminate us entirely on her own discretion, only to end up swearing allegiance to King Shi Huang the instant Zhang Yu's life was threatened. That was her lover, though. I was taken aback to see Akuta's acting so aggressively when we first came to this Lostbelt. But seeing her so scared and flustered was just painful, more than it was surprising. I guess I really didn't know anything about her back when we were both back at Chaldea. Ah yes, but who she was at Chaldea. Holmes and I did a little poking around in the data we managed to back up from the server. And her entire background reeks of falsified records. Indeed, I had to particularly hold my nose as we picked apart her disguise. Disguise, even though she was a member of Chaldea's staff? Let's see, imagine her profile is like a painting that's been thoroughly, methodically airbrushed to erase any trace of the original painter. Correct. There's not a single errant brushstroke, so to speak, to be found anywhere. Anyone who has lived an ordinary life will inevitably leave behind a bit of useless information about him or herself along the way. And yet, there was nothing of the sort to be found in Akuta Hinako's data. It was as though her entire life story was designed to pull the wool over someone's eyes. You mean like a perfect alibi? Precisely. That's just the sort of interjection I was looking for, my dear Watson. So the fact that nothing in her personal information is strange also means nothing in it is real? Yep. There's basically nothing even remotely human about her entire background. And even that's not the only obvious suspicion thing we ran across. According to her profile, Marsbury Atmosphere brought her to Chaldea, supervised her aptitude test, and oversaw her periodic health exams and interviews personally. It seems that every bit of data about her was submitted with his authorization codes, no one else. The first director. Just the fact that he handled it all alone is one hell of a red flag for security. It'd be easy for him to falsify any data he wanted, considering his position. Be that as it may, if Caldea's original director was the one who manipulated her profile, yeah, if a guy that high up the food chain has something he wanted to keep a secret about her, we're pretty much SOL. How did Akuta end up at Chaldea in the first place? Did she actually have enough race shift aptitude to be chosen for Team A? For that matter, who the hell is she, really? At this point, I don't know what to believe. Indeed, everything we thought we knew about Akuta Hinako's personal information is suspect at best. So it wouldn't be really a stretch of imagination she might have a different goal from the other cryptors. Obviously not. What's more, this goal is evidently more important to her than protecting her lost belt or preserving her relationship with its king. One might think eliminating us would be her first priority, but as we've seen, even that is a secondary compared to her concern for Zhang Yu, another figure about whom we know next to nothing. It looks like that name only means anything to those of us from proper human history, and this lost belt, he appears to go by something else. I think he was called Kuja Zero? Kuja, huh. Well, a quick database search suggests that area has some significance for Zhang Yu. It's where his uncle, Jielang Lang, started his revolt against the Qin Empire after the emperor died. You could say it's where Zhang Yu began his career as a warrior. Regardless of who Zhang Yu may be in this world, the fact remains that he belongs to this lost belt. So I cannot fathom why Akuta Hinako, who, though nothing else we know about her is certain, comes from proper human history, would care so deeply about him as to abandon her other goals. That's one pretty straightforward. This one's pretty straightforward. She must have fallen in love with him at first sight. That's right, director. The more foolish that woman, the more likely she is to chuck everything away for such a silly notions. Careful, Gordy. You're gonna lose any goodwill you may have built up with your female staff. Bah, the only woman here is MASH, you borderline Lolita. Well, I was certainly disappointed by what you said. Wait, really? Now, do try to stay on topic. We still have a mountain of problems that needs solving. Alright, we still need to talk to the people who's gonna be less than pleased about this. Even if it's only temporary, I can't believe I have to pretend to make nice with that emperor. Just the thought makes me sick. Yeah, that sounds about right. Negotiate? Out of the question. That tactic plays right into the oppressor's hands. Do not be fooled, detective. They will tell you whatever the weak wishes to hear, and pressure you to swearing allegiance with only the pretense of your consent at best. Given the urgency of Mr. Paragon and Gordo's condition, I'm afraid we have no alternative. At a minimum, I would like to maintain our truce with King Xing Huang until Koyan Sky is securely in our custody. If we could prolong it until Akuda Hinako is out of the picture, so much the better. Whatever her reason for doing so may be, Akuda Hinako remains fiercely determined to eradicate us. So much so that she tried to assassinate Mr. Paragon and the dead of night against Qi Shi Huang's wishes. Obviously, Akuda and Qi Shi Huang aren't BFFs at the moment, but we can't be sure that will last, since there's still a lot we don't know about their relationship. There's every possibility that she may yet convince Qi Shi Huang to take her side in all of this. What about defeating Qi Shi Huang and cutting down the Tree of Emptiness before music and mastery can fall victim to the accursed poison? Should that not be our first priority? Wait, what? That's impossible. That's so much work. Listen closely, Spartacus. At the moment, making an enemy out of all the Empire will lead only to disaster. Right now, Koyan Sky is a wild card who could wreak havoc no matter where she is or whose side she's on. If we don't have an antidote ready to go by the time we face off with Qi Shi Huang, it'll be over before it begins. All the Emperor would have to do is kill Koyan Sky. My thing is, they're talking in a tent right here. This is not the shadow border that they're talking in. The Emperor could easily like hear this, I think. But then again, they say you got to look up the sky though. And Mr. Paragon would be saddled with the poison, deleterious effects for the rest of his life. Let's not forget that my own life would be tragically shortened. Yes, ultimately, we need to destroy the Tree of Emptiness and erase his Lostbelt. And to do so, we will inevitably need to face and defeat Qin Shi Huang. So bear in mind that any amicable relations we appear to have now are strictly temporary state of affairs. So you want us to pretend to be friends until we can attack when the Emperor at least suspects it, right? Yeah, that's fine. Hell, I used to ask Argivane for advice with that sort of sneaky shit all the time. I refuse. Acquiescence is the first step to allegiance, and allegiance inevitably leads to subservience. My master must never side with oppression, but always rebel against it. He should rebel against pain, rebel against suffering, and ultimately triumph by rebelling against destiny. Get the goddamn stick out of your ass, would you? We're playing the long game here, lunkhead. The important part is that we get to destroy the Empire in the end. So why don't we just think of all the rebelling you're gonna get to do later as a prize for all the restraint you gotta show now? I mean, you love repressing your own shit, right? Are you all truly willing to go along with this? Well, I tried to assassinate the Emperor before. I lost the moment I focused on something other than the killing itself. But I'm not the one leading the attack this time. I get that Paragon has his own way of fighting. I'm sorry, I know it's a lot to ask. Well, there's nothing I can do if you're going to plead at me with that helpless look on your face. I mean, you're just now realizing how hopeless your chances are against Zhang Yu, right? It's getting stuffy in here with so many of us present. I think I'll step out for a bit of fresh air. Holmes just winked at me, Paragon, and Jinki. What's going on? He said, let's go out, talk here in private. Forget the servants. What is it, Holmes? Is there something else you wanted to talk us about? Is it time to take out Spartacus? I thought it would be best if Spartacus were absent for this next part. I trust you to retain your cool, Miss Jinki, but let me remind you to refrain from raising your voice. As long as we whisper, Qin Shi Huang should be unable to hear us. I mostly finished my analysis of the benefaction drug, and it's beyond anything I could have imagined. Its psychotropic effects are secondary at most. Oh, so is it like one of those mind control, be peace with you drug type of thing. Its true purpose lies in boosting the immune system, or perhaps you should say enhancing it to an unfathomable degree. Oh, so you never get sick, that's what it is. And despite its potency, there are almost no negative side effects as long as one condition remains unmet. Yo, how you doing? It is well beyond what modern medical science could achieve. In fact, I doubt even magecraft or proper human history could create a drug so effective. It is something that could only be made here in a Lost Belt where pharmaceuticals and biochemistry are entirely based on sage arts. Now I see. So it's a mass-produced elixir. And it does hand out something like that amazing to every citizen during every major celebration? Indeed, and as a result, illness and disease have been completely eradicated. I doubt any of these people have had so much as a cold since they were born. Then it's a real, actual panacea. Hold on, what's the condition that needs to go unmet for this to work? Ah yes, that would be old age. Once a person's hormonal secretions have reached a certain level, this drug functions as a lethal anesthetic. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's like The Village Part 2 from Scandinavian Lost Belt. No one goes past 30. I estimate it to be at least several thousand times before more potent than pentobarbital. Hang on, wouldn't that mean? Now I see. I thought it was strange that we hadn't seen a single elderly person here. This is no unintended side effect. It's quite clear that the medicine was designed to work this way. Designed? Then it really is poisoning everyone who takes it. So when someone's body secretes a certain amount of hormones, in other words, once their body has aged to a certain point, they just die? Correct. From our perspective, distributing a drug like this is no better than mass murder. Still, a case can be made from a Buddhist perspective, and how it views the four inevitabilities of human life, namely birth, aging, disease, and death. If one considers both old age and illness equally undesirable, one could say this medicine protects you from the pain of the former and the latter at once. I cannot say if every world under all possible conditions would eventually arrive at these ethics of pharmaceutical science. But the wheat grown here has been extensively genetically modified into something extraordinary. Its resistance to disease, its yield, everything about it stands leagues above its natural counterpart in proper human history. With a crop like this, one could live their entire life without ever knowing hunger. And if you never have to worry about food, you probably never think to take it from someone else. There's no economy here. No division between rich and poor exists, and we have all seen for ourselves how ignorant they are of war and violence. It seems that life here is as far removed from the suffering that one might expect in our world as is possible to imagine. And when their life has run its course, this drug puts them to sleep permanently, well before they can begin to feel pain of old age. I dare say that, if nothing else, this world has done a frighteningly effective job at removing pain and suffering from people's lives. But that's no way for people to live. They're practically being kept as livestock. So this is how King Shi Huang, how that dictator decided to solve humanity's suffering. Makes sense. No way a leader who abandoned their own humanity would in turn threat their subjects like people. My thing is, if the people are taking this drug, how are they not saying, hey, what happened to that guy yesterday? You know, he took the drug and just died instantly. People then like, oh my goodness, does he disappear, or how do they like die? You know. As far as making a decision between this Lost Belt and proper human history, Spartacus claimed that we should fight to determine which should be allowed to survive. Now I see why he didn't have Spartacus in this conversation. Because if Spartacus was in this conversation, he'd really go tell this guy, hey, don't take that drug. That thing kills you. And then he'll like go berserk and stuff. If hearing that gave you a pause, I would urge you to give the matter more thought, keeping what you know now about the benefaction in mind. In this world, the definition of a happy human life is exceedingly simple. The top ellipses. Seeing as you will need to make this choice sooner or later, I think it's best I suspend my usual behavior in favor of full disclosure. Allow me to share you with some speculation. Do keep in mind that this is not a deduction, but rather a bit of conjecture on my part. Holmes, this relates solely to one question, namely, why did the Spirit Origin craft fail to work with his Lostbelt's ley line? You think it has something to do with this medicine? There aren't any heroes in this Lostbelt. That may not be directly related, but it does support my current hypotheses. Heroic spirits have always been one-sided of Alaya, mankind. Collective unconscious. They are defined foremost by their purpose, protecting humanity. While there may be different methods and conditions involved in summoning servants, the one thing they all have in common, without exception, is responding to the summoner's prayer. However, if there was not a single person in the world who had the emphatic need to pray for something, and if such a world had flourished unabated for hundreds of years, right, then it wouldn't be at all surprising if that world lost its connection to the throne of heroes entirely. For that matter, there wouldn't even be any heroic spirits in that world, just like there aren't here. After all, every hero who might be needed to fight someday, like King Langlui, is still alive. So this Lostbelt is a world that has no need for heroic spirits at all. And all the ones that were capable of fighting are being like hoarded in like a cryogenic sleep, so we can't summon them. Can you imagine a person wishing fervently for anything in a world free from hunger, pain, and suffering? Miss Carolite? I know I certainly cannot. Indeed, it only makes sense that servants would never appear in a world where no one wishes for anything. Thanks for telling us this, Holmes. Whatever doubts I may have had are gone now. I will do everything in my power to take Qixing Hong down and put an end to this disgusting regime. As long as I get there in the end, I don't care how far out of our way we have to go. So right now, let's focus on curing Paragon. Now that I know where I'm going, I can wait as long as it takes. Thank you, Jinky. Progress report? We should finish a complete scan of the vehicle's interior by morning. Good. Be careful not to overlook anything. Remember, the future of the Empire rests on your shoulders. Yes, ma'am. Now, my thing is, I wouldn't be surprised if Da Vinci like took out some module that doesn't allow it to zero cell, so they wouldn't know how to do it, because they would have everything but like the key components of the shadow border. But one thing that they could do, right, is like, hey, before we finish this analysis, I want you to zero cell in and out. That way we can see it working in action. I'll go see how things are on the outside. Like, he could tell the mystical guy, he said, hey, hold on to this part, put it in your stealth cloak, make sure the Emperor doesn't see you take it out. And he holds on the part and they can't replicate it. The shadow border, the product of a world entirely different from ours. Huh. Because the moon does not know how to drink, my shadow merely follows the movement of my body. The moon has brought the shadow to keep me company a while. The practice of merge should keep pace with spring. Oh, he's telling the poem that was taught by Jinky. What was that, young man? Oh, that's called a poem. A guy named Li Bai wrote it a long time ago. Who taught you that? Well, uh-oh. What is this dissension in the ranks? We see King Langzhu's investigation is proceeding smoothly. It feels good to have so much data moving among my circuits. Do you think you will be able to analyze that otherworldly device, Your Imperial Majesty? Who do you think we are? This holy vessel is full of calculation capabilities. Can easily handle a single vehicle. Or so we thought. This is amazing. How could they fit so much functionality into these dimensions? It's hard to believe what we are seeing. Forgive the intrusion, Your Imperial Majesty, but it's something you must know. Oh, what is this about? The children in this village are reciting poems. What? They're getting educated? Not like this. You're kidding. When I asked them about it, they said they learned it from the Chaldea. We see, the Chaldea are Confucians. Yes, Your Imperial Majesty. This is undoubtedly the work of Confucianism. And to do unto others as others do unto you. Okay, now that's three nodes right there. That's a lot. So that's a good stopping point right there. So let's go back over here. I'll tell you what, let's see, if we get an anger Manu, I don't know, I guess we throw one Saint Cord at someone. We'll throw one Saint Cord at we'll throw one Saint Cord at Abigail. If we get an anger Manu, because we don't have a multi. That's what it's come down to. I was like, oh, we don't have anything. Alright, here we go. So throw it here. Boom, just chuck a Saint Cord over there. Alright, good, we didn't get it. Alright, so I do not I do not do any GSSRs. Like 3 years going strong. I like seeing other people's GSSRs though. I tune into that. So yep. But with that brings us to the sad face. that brings us to the end of this stream. I appreciate all of y'all stopping by, and hopefully we'll see you next time. Adios. Bye bye.